So I just wanted to have an honest conversation about addiction, and I wanted to maybe suggest some ideas to help you overcome your addiction. I've overcome a couple of addictions in my life, so I think I'm pretty qualified to help you. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Um, so basically, you have to attack your addiction from lots of different angles. So like if you were a smoker, it's not just I'm going to stop smoking. It's like I need to go do exercise instead. I need to find other sources of excitement and dopamine in my life. That's what I mean by attacking from different angles. Changing friendship groups if you have to. This is what I mean. So I'm gonna cover some points. Point number one: don't give up. So if you do give up or you relapse, you'll be stuck. You could be stuck in that rut for years. So it's important to get back on that horse immediately, as soon as you can. Maybe just take a couple of days, but just get back up on that horse and take it as a learning opportunity. So what led up to that relapse? Really be introspective and take it as a blessing. It's a blessing that I relapsed because it taught me another thing about myself. Point number two: causes. So stress such as work, financial or relationship stress, lack of love or isolation, or loss such as death or divorce can be a trigger. And you're doing this for self-soothing, escapism or relaxation. So you have to be aware of what causes the thing that you're doing. So often it's subconscious and we're not even realizing truly underneath what's causing it. And for a lot of people, even including myself, it could be lack of love. And I don't mean romantic love, I mean like being loved, So you have to be aware of these emotions because it gives you something to point at. If you know what the emotion is truly, what the issue is, it gives you something to point at and you say, okay, I'm doing this because of this. And so it's half the battle. Point number three: change your environment. So often when you are doing your addiction activity, you'll be in the same environments. Okay, the same rooms, the same buildings, that sort of thing. So you need to go into nature, change your environments, maybe go into a different room in your house, something like that. Sometimes it's your partners or friends. They are keeping you locked in. Often your friendship group might be keeping you into a drug addiction or a drinking addiction. And if you say, oh, I don't want to do that today, and they mock you, that's how you know that they're not good for you. So you might need to get a new set of friends. Your partner, if they're toxic, either you can try and help change them. If they don't respect your journey, then they just don't respect you. So you need to purge toxicity and move on, change your environment. Point number four: pre-relapse activity. So before you relapse, your body feels like it's missing something. So you need to offer something in its place, like a sacrificial lamb. You must make sure that your body is satiated in that moment. So you need to go eat something, go watch a movie, go find another source of dopamine to satiate your body, because if you don't, you're more likely to succumb to that addiction. Yeah, don't just sit there. Point number five: connection with God or the divine. So statistically, rehabs that factor in a form of spirituality are the most successful, and this is by no coincidence. So with your recovery, you can factor in these sorts of things like praying, meditation, asking God for help. So these things can give you a sense of guidance and optimism. Point number six: role model. So you can find a person who you know is amazing and wouldn't do this thing that you do. And it doesn't have to be a person you know. It could be like Jesus or Arnold Schwarzenegger or Bruce Lee. So when you're feeling weak, for example, just say, be like Jesus or be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you can repeat it like a chant. So you're channeling their energy. So you pretend like you are them, or like they're looking out through your eyes. You know, what would they do in your situation? And just act like that. Channel their source of energy. You can also find a real life accountability partner. So this could be like an AA member, a therapist, or a forum member who will kind of keep you on track. You report your progress to them and they'll keep you in line. Point number 7, understanding stagnation. So tell yourself, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll always end up in the same situation. After you do the forbidden thing, you'll be in the same place or worse. So you need to be very aware of this in these times of hardness. So you can chant, I will be in the same place after. I will be in the same place after. And just chant it over and over again if you really are tempted. Point number 8, devils feed off each other. So one addiction can worsen another addiction. So they can synergize and give each other strength. So for example, eating sugary snacks or energy drinks will actually worsen a gaming addiction. Smoking may actually worsen an eating addiction or a food addiction. Failure to socialize will actually worsen your drinking addiction, right? Because you're trying to get a certain amount of dopamine, right? So if you finish your cigarette, you'll have had a dopamine, and then your dopamine levels will completely crash, and then you'll be like, oh, what can I do to raise my dopamine levels? I'll eat some food. But you don't notice that at a conscious level, that's at a subconscious level, right? And if you're an alcoholic and you don't get your oxytocin and your dopamine from socialization, you're going to get that from drinking. So yeah, the devils feed off each other. Point number 9, vilification. So even if you don't see your addiction as evil and feeding off you like a demon, it's very helpful to visualize and conceptualize your addiction in this way. See it as pure disgusting and evil, and it's trying to keep you in a rut. So you have to begin to despise and vilify your addiction. And this makes it easier to slay, right? It makes it easier to slay the dragon if you see it as a dragon. Point number 10, access prevention. If you're an alcoholic, don't stock alcohol in the house. Don't put alcohol into your shopping cart. Same if you're a sugar addict. Don't stock sugary foods in the house, or even honey. Just don't put them in your shopping cart. If you're a smoker or vapor, and you get tempted by a shop on the way home from work, perhaps walk a different way home from work so that you don't go past that shop. If you're a porn addict, block porn websites and don't go on sites like Instagram that might tempt you. If you're a gambling addict, also block gambling websites and block all sources of temptation, for example streams. And if you go on nights out and you're tempted by drugs and women on nights out, just don't go on them. Prevent yourself. Thanks for watching and stay strong.